Conflicts arise when individuals or groups have differing interests, values, or goals. At the heart of most conflict issues are misunderstandings, lack of communication, or competing needs. These disagreements can manifest in workplaces, families, or even between nations. Effective conflict resolution requires identifying the root causes, promoting open dialogue, and finding common ground. By encouraging empathy and active listening, parties can move beyond surface tensions to create solutions that benefit everyone, ultimately fostering healthier relationships and environments. There are numerous disputes that take place between stakeholders in construction sites. Few conflicts might be related to unclear terms in the contract, labour disputes, late supply of raw materials at the site, inadequate design, forced events, and limited resources. In addition, disputes might also be generated due to commencement of work. The reason for all such conflicts is lack of effective communication between stakeholders, which generally leads to confusion or misunderstanding. The conflict that takes place between a site operator and other parties might arise due to delay in completion of the task. For instance, an engineer who enters into an agreement with another party might make a commitment of completing the task within a specific time period. This agreement is made on the basis of an assumption related to the potential of their partners and suppliers and employees who perform work in order to deliver their promises. However, due to complex supply chain problems, the supplier might fail to deliver raw materials at the decided time. This ultimately results in a delay. In this situation, the client may become angry and behave negatively towards the engineer. This scenario sometimes results in a dispute between the engineer and client. The safety management philosophy has been implemented by the construction companies in order to limit their liabilities as well as costs. Principles of implementing safety management are fairly simple. At the time of implementation of such programs, the construction companies may encounter the most difficulties. Developing an understanding about the reasons behind a conflict, as well as its effect, is important for a manager in order to successfully complete the project without conflict. In the context of construction sites, utility conflicts can be analysed. For instance, take the case of XYZ Limited, which has entered into a contract with Mr. P. An organisation has promised to construct a building for Mr. P on a particular site. A proper construction plan was designed by management team. However, when the work started at the site, an unknown pipe was discovered, which hindered the complete construction procedure. The reason for the conflict in this case is that Mr. P was not informed about the pipe. In addition, an engineer failed to identify the issue, which has given rise to disputes between the representative and engineer. In the context of health and safety management, it has been analysed that the main cause of conflicts is lack of effective communication and cooperation between parties. In addition to this, it has also been found that the senior engineer delegates his responsibility among sub-engineers. The senior engineer does not actively participate in ensuring that sub-engineer is actually exercising all measures that are important for providing a safe working environment to workers. The other reason that has been analysed is related to an increase in the number of accidents due to the negligence of safety engineers. Education or evidence-based learning is considered to be as an effective instrument, which will assist an individual in developing a peaceful environment at the workplace. Training will assist an individual in increasing the tendency to avoid conflicts. Evidence-based learning enables an individual to identify the best approaches that can be used for avoiding or preventing conflicts within an organisation. Evidence-based learning, as well as practices, support an individual in promoting ethical behaviour, which is very much important in order to avoid disputes. Sometimes, conflicts also arise between parties in the company, as there are a few customers who want to get involved in the project without having any information about the activities related to construction projects. The client sometimes perceives that the project is going too slow, and they force the engineer to redesign the project, which is a time-consuming process. As a result, there is disagreement between parties, which gives rise to conflicts. It has been further analysed that conflicts generally takes place between the company's representatives at the site and suppliers. The reason for such disputes is generally found to be due to delays in supply of raw material by suppliers. It has also been analysed that conflicts generally takes place between labourers due to limited resources. Such disputes can be avoided by providing workers with sufficient resources. Differences between values and ethics can also give rise to conflicts between labourers working at a particular construction site. Conflict analysis is a structured process to understand the complexities of a conflict, including its actors, causes, and dynamics, to inform effective conflict management and resolution strategies. It involves examining the history of the conflict, identifying all involved parties and their motivations, and exploring the contributing factors to the conflict's escalation or persistence. The goal is to identify opportunities for preventing violence, resolving disputes, and building sustainable peace by understanding the conflict's root causes and developing tailored interventions. Key components of conflict analysis. Conflict profile, context. This involves understanding the broader political, economic, and socio-cultural environment and any relevant history of conflict or violence. Actors, stakeholders. Identifying all parties involved in the conflict, their relationships, interests, needs, motivations, and their relative power and influence. Causes and drivers. Determining the structural and proximate causes, as well as the triggers that initiate or prolong the conflict. This can be visualized using a conflict tree to distinguish between visible manifestations, the canopy, and underlying root causes. Dynamics. Analyzing how the conflict is evolving over time, including trends, escalation or de-escalation periods, and potential windows of opportunity for peace building. Purpose of conflict analysis. Clarify issues. To clearly define the range of issues that need to be addressed within the conflict. Identify root causes. To pinpoint the fundamental issues that fuel the conflict, enabling more targeted and effective interventions. Inform strategies. To provide an evidence-based foundation for developing prevention, management, and resolution strategies. Build capacity. To enhance the problem-solving and analytical skills of local stakeholders for dealing with current and future conflicts. Foster understanding. To improve understanding among various stakeholders by providing a common analytical framework. Please like, follow, and subscribe for more update.